What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for so much of your love and your support. It makes a huge difference. It warms my heart, and I'm able to talk to amazing, fantabulous people, such as the founder and CEO of course, Traveling Stories, the wonderful Emily. Hey, Emily.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. So, Emily, what part of the country are you holding down today?
Oh, I am in San Diego, California.
Ooh, San Diego. Yeah. You guys are having some pretty awesome weather on San Diego.
We are. I know. I'm wearing a long sleeve T-shirt and I'm a little bit warm.
Oh my gosh!
Not to make anyone jealous out there.
I am so jealous right now. Like it's like 46 degrees in Georgia today. I'm like, that's not fun.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little jealous though of some of the more winter weather. You know, like me and my kids watch these holiday movies with snow, and I'm pretty sure my 2-year-old has no idea what that is. So
smart kid. All right, so Emily, what was the inspiration behind Traveling Stories?
Yeah, well, so Traveling Stories, for anyone who doesn't know, is a nonprofit organization, and we focus on helping children discover a love for reading. And that is not at all what I thought I would do with my life. When I was in college, I wanted to be a journalist, and I wanted to travel to these other countries and tell stories that no one else was telling. And so I studied journalism. But right after I graduated, I took a job as a teacher in Honduras for a year. So I got to live in Central America. And I didn't find out until I got to the school that I would be teaching English and sociology to juniors and seniors in high school. And I had no teaching experience, and I was really scared. But it ended up being this incredible, life-changing year. And one of the reasons was that my students, I had 87 of them, and almost every single student had never experienced reading for fun. So they had textbooks, but they didn't have access to, just like fun books to read. And they didn't really have a library at school. They didn't really have access to a library in their community. Right. And my best friends growing up were book characters. It took me a long time to admit that without shame.
No, nothing to be ashamed. That's nothing to be ashamed of. I think we all had. We all had those friends. Absolutely.
Some of those friends. Sometimes, it's still my favorite way to escape.
Yeah.
But with my students, I just felt so heartbroken that they had grown up without that experience, without ever falling in love with a character in a book. And so I got to come home for Christmas, and I filled my suitcase with books, and I brought them back to my students. And we started, even though they were teenagers, we started doing a reading time every day. And there were only 2 rules. You could not fall asleep, and you could not read a book that you did not like. And they thought I was joking, but really the goal was to find something that you enjoyed, not just to read for educational sake. And by the end of that semester, almost every single student had found a book that they connected with and had really started to love reading. And it sounds kind of cheesy, but seeing that happen and seeing how it had this ripple effect, not only in their own life, but in their family and their siblings, and even in the whole school. Like, I only had juniors and seniors, but after a couple weeks, the freshman teacher and the sophomore teacher, they were asking to borrow the book too. And so getting to see just how sharing my love for reading could have a really big difference in another person's life, sort of just opened my mind and opened my eyes and made me think, maybe I don't have to get a new skill or get a new expertise to make a difference in the world. Maybe I can just share something that has already made a difference in my life and share something that I'm passionate about. And so that was 11 years ago. And I started Traveling Stories 10 years ago. And that was the inspiration. That's where it started. And I still keep in touch with some of those students. Some of them now have kids. Some of them are donors. And it's really sweet to see how it's come full circle and how, just a few stories 11 years ago is still making a difference in their life.
Yes, that's incredible. So
I
from
know.
that so from that one experience, you're like, you know what, this is something that other people need to know about. They need to hear about this. They need to experience
Yeah.
it. So what was your first step after you realized that this is something that you wanted
So,
to put on like a broader scale?
yeah. So it took me a while, to be honest, to go from like, wow, that was so inspiring, to like, oh wow, I should do something with this. It took me a little while, and I was kind of reluctant because I was afraid. I was afraid that I wasn't good enough,
Mm,
and that the more I made it known, I might disappoint people. Which, I mean, I don't know. If I'm being very vulnerable with you, that's how I was feeling. And so
yeah.
I really am kind of a blabbermouth, and I was talking about that experience with everyone who would listen, and that's when people started giving feedback, and a lot of people were saying, hey, like, I had an experience and kids didn't have books, or, have you gone here? Or I think books would really have a big difference in this community or that community, and, how about we work together, and how about I donate, or how about, and so more and more people got involved, and I saw that it wasn't just my idea anymore, but it was an idea that had some community buy-in, and that kind of gave me the courage to push forward. But the really turning point was when all these people were telling me, like, hey, start a nonprofit. And I was like, I don't know. And this was when Facebook was kind of new. So I sent a Facebook message to about 100 people, maybe less, maybe like 50. I'm not that popular.
Oh, you're
and so I
popular.
said, hey, well, I'm more popular now. Just kidding, not really. So I asked all these people, I said, hey, you've all been like so supportive and you believe in this idea. I said, it's going to cost, this much money to file and to become an official nonprofit with tax exempt status. I said, I don't want this just to be me and like my idea. So if you guys raise the money, I will dedicate my time to make this successful. And so by the end of the week, we had all the money.
Wow.
So then I was like, great, I need to go, put my time in. But it showed me that I had community support, and that this was something that could provide true benefit and that other people believed in. Right. And that was really important because my vision for Traveling Stories was so much bigger than I think what one person is capable of. And so from the very beginning, I wanted to make a habit of getting buy-in from other people. Right. Because I really do believe that, I think there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I have to tell myself that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's that. I mean, there's been a ton of bumps along the way, though. Starting a nonprofit and actually making it sustainable or keeping it going are totally two different things.
Oh, definitely.
Which I learned the hard way.
Yeah, but I mean, girl, you're thriving now. That's the main thing. Is that
we're trying? Yeah,
you're doing it. You're thriving. You're making a difference in the world, and it's just like it's going back to saying it's like everybody's like, oh well, I'm just one person. I don't make it. No. A lot of the times, all it needs is that one person to spark that idea to set off a whole ripple effect. So no, you're doing.
I agree.
You're definitely doing it, girl. So, what is the next phase of Traveling Stories?
Yes, well, so I'm gonna be honest. COVID has been really tough. Tough for us, but I would say even tougher for the families that we provide our program to. So, our initial program was this pop-up story tent at malls and farmers markets in underserved communities, and kids would come. They would read with a mentor. They would earn fake money called book bucks, and they would buy prizes. And so we would set up in these communities, and kids would come every single week. Parents would use it as incentive, like, hey, you have to clean your room or you can't go to the story tent. And obviously, because of COVID, we've been closed, and California is really strict. And so we've been closed since March. And these kiddos need so much help. Like, they were already at high risk of falling behind, and now with virtual learning and with, parents are dealing with so much stress, and so it's a really tough situation, and the families that are part of our audience and our target demographic, they're struggling. And so what's next for us is we're pivoting to a virtual model. And so for the last couple of months, we've been building a virtual StoryTent program and testing it, and I'm so excited about it. We match kids one-on-one with a mentor, and they get to have this video session every week where they read books together, they talk about books. They can have like little dance parties, whatever. Cause, kids, they need a little break sometimes. They can't just sit and read the whole time. So we make it super fun. I mean, the goal is still really to help kids discover a love for reading, help them have access to a lot of different stories, but also helping kids identify that their own story is so significant and it's so powerful and that somebody believes in them. And kids also, they can, I mean, through the new model, they'll still earn virtual book bucks and they can shop on our platform's online stores. We just got a ton of amazing toys. And so kids can buy that with their own money, which I think is also really cool and important because it kind of creates this empowerment where kids are able to set a goal, work toward it with a mentor, and achieve a goal. So I mean that's what we're working on. We just completed our second pilot program, and we got really good feedback. So now we're gearing up for our next program. It's going to start in February, and so it's 6 weeks, and then we start another one, and then another one. So all year it'll be running, and it's for children entering kindergarten through second grade. And because we're virtual, really it could be children anywhere, even though we're located in San Diego. I was already sold, right? I was already super excited about this, and we're getting great feedback from parents and kids. And then this year, I became a foster parent, and one of my kids, she's 7, and so she's done our pilot programs, and she does not share my love for reading, which has been kind of challenging. But it's been really fun for me to see her experience in the program as a parent figure, and getting to see her interact with her volunteer. And even this morning, she was like, "Hey, Miss Emily, when am I going to get to read with my mentor again?" And so it's, even from just a parent perspective, I know, right? I'm
you're like, okay, this is slowly taking root. We'll take our wins.
I know. I was try not to act too excited.
I know,
scare her away, but I don't want her to. But it's, so, and then I mean, if I'm being totally honest, it's really hard to find time alone right now. And so when she's able to have this one-on-one session, that gives me 30 to 45 minutes to either hang out with her younger sister and have some quality time, or, set her up with an iPad and go get a shower and have a shower in peace, you know? So it's, I'm really bummed out with how much some of our families are hurting because of what's going on in the world right now. But I'm also really excited that we're able to pivot in a way that we can actually continue to keep connecting with them and providing, hopefully, something that will provide a lot of value and really, really, I mean, hopefully help kids just have some hope during this time and have some, meaningful interaction with somebody who believes in them and have that one-on-one individualized support to hopefully develop even stronger reading habits.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was a lot. I don't know.
No, definitely. That's huge. If we can get kids excited about reading, I've got nieces and nephews that are going through the teenage phase where it's not cool to, I'm too cool for school type of stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Nicholas. I'm calling you out. So if we can get these kids excited in whatever aspect, whatever they're interested in, if we can get them excited and keep them there, I think that's a huge step in the right direction. So I'm totally with you on that one, Emily.
I agree.
But Emily, I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And
thank you. It's been so much fun.
Absolutely. Let everyone know where they can get more information on you guys, and of course to follow you on social media.
Yes, please. You can visit our website, travelingstories.org. That's O-R-G. And it's the same on all the social media. We're most active on Instagram and Facebook. So look for us there. And then if you're interested in learning more, or maybe you have a child and you're like, hey, I'm interested in having them sign up for the next Virtual StoryTent, we have information on our website. You can sign up there, but you can also just shoot me an email. It's emily@travelingstories.org, and I'll do my best to get back to you right away.
Okay, cool beans. I love it. Emily, much more success into this new year that we have right in front of us.
Yeah.
Good energy. We're gonna put out some good vibrations for each other because we're claiming it. It's gonna be a better year. way better year. All right.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I agree. Cheers to that.
Yes. I appreciate that. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so very much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.
Yeah.